Pivot from feeling bad to feeling good.
Everyone wants to feel good, but most people believe that everything around them needs to be pleasing to them before they can feel good. In fact, most people feel the way they do in any moment in time because of something they are observing. If what they are observing pleases them, they feel good, but if what they are observing does not please them, they feel bad. Most people feel quite powerless about consistently feeling good because they believe that in order to feel good, the conditions around them must change. But they also believe that they do not have the power to change many of the conditions. However, once you understand that every subject is really two subjects, what is wanted and lack of it, you can learn to see more of the positive aspects of whatever you are giving your attention to. That really is all that the process of pivoting is, deliberately looking for a more positive way, a better feeling way, to approach whatever you're giving your attention to. When you're facing an unwanted condition and are therefore feeling bad, if you will deliberately say, I know what I don't want, what is it that I do want? The vibration of your being, which is affected by your point of focus, will shift slightly, causing your point of attraction to shift also. This is the way that you begin telling a different story about your life. Rather than saying, I never have enough money, you say instead, I'm looking forward to having more money. That's a very different story, a very different vibration, and a very different feeling, which will, in time, bring you a very different result. As you continue to ask yourself from your ever-changing vantage point, what is it that I do want? Eventually, you'll be standing in a very pleasing place, for you cannot continually ask yourself what it is that you do want without your point of attraction beginning to shift in that direction. The process will be gradual, but your continued application of the process will yield wonderful results in only a few days.
What do I want and why?
Perhaps the strongest resistance that people have to beginning to tell a different story about their own life is their belief that they should always speak the truth about where they are, or that they should tell it like it is. But when you understand that the law of attraction is responding to you while you are telling your story of how it is, and therefore is perpetuating more of whatever story you're telling, you may decide that it really is in your best interest to tell a different story, a story that more closely matches that which you would now like to live. When you acknowledge what you do not want, and then ask yourself, what is it that I do want, you begin a gradual shift in telling of your new story, and into a much improved point of attraction. It's always helpful to remember that you get the essence of what you think about, whether you want it or not, because the law of attraction is unerringly consistent. Therefore, you're never only telling the story of how it is now, you're also telling the story of the future experience that you are creating right now. Sometimes people misunderstand what the process of pivoting is, as they incorrectly assume that to pivot means to look at something unwanted and to try to convince themselves that it is wanted. They think that we're asking them to look at something that they clearly believe is wrong and pronounce it right, or that it is a way of kidding themselves into accepting some unwanted thing. But you are never in a position where you can kid yourself into feeling better about something, because the way you feel is the way you feel, and the way you feel is always a result of the thought that you've chosen. It is really a wonderful thing that through the process of living life and noticing the things around you that you do not want, you are then able to come to clear conclusions about what you do want. And when you care about how you feel, you can easily apply the process of pivoting to direct your attention toward more of the wanted aspects and less of the unwanted aspects of life. And then, as the law of attraction responds to your increasingly improved, better feeling thoughts, you will notice your own life experience transforming to match more of those wanted aspects, while the unwanted aspects gradually fade out of your experience. When you deliberately apply the process of pivoting, which means you are deliberately choosing your own thoughts, which means you're deliberately choosing your vibrational point of attraction, you are also deliberately choosing how your life unfolds. Pivoting is a process of deliberately focusing your attention with the intent of directing your own life experience.
Am I in harmony with my desire?
So the pivoting process is simply, whenever you recognize that you're feeling a negative emotion, the obvious thing for you to do is to stop and say, I'm feeling negative emotion, which means I'm not in harmony with something that I want. What do I want? Any time that you're feeling negative emotion, you're in a very good position to identify what it is that you are in that moment wanting. Because never are you clearer about what you do want than when you are experiencing what you do not want. And so stop in that moment and say, something is important here, otherwise I would not be feeling this negative emotion. What is it that I want? And then simply turn your attention to what you do want. In the moment you turn your attention to what you want, the negative attraction will stop. And in the moment the negative attraction stops, the positive attraction will begin. And in that moment, your feeling will change from not feeling good to feeling good. That is a process of pivoting.
I can feel better right now.
People often complain that it would be much easier for them to focus on something positive if it were already happening in their life experience. They accurately acknowledge that it is much easier to feel good about something when something good is already happening. And we certainly do not disagree that it is easier to feel good while noticing things you believe are good. But if you believe that you only have the ability to focus upon what is happening, and if what is happening is not pleasing, then you could wait an entire lifetime, because your attention to unwanted things is preventing wanted things from coming to you. You do not have to wait for a good thing to happen in order to feel good, for you have the ability to direct your thoughts toward improved things no matter what is currently present in your experience. And when you care about how you feel, and you're willing to pivot and turn your attention toward better feeling thoughts, you will quickly begin the positive, deliberate transformation of your life. Things that are coming into your experience are coming in response to your vibration. Your vibration is offered because of the thoughts you are thinking, and you can tell by the way you feel what kinds of thoughts you're thinking. Find good feeling thoughts, and good feeling manifestations must follow. Many people say, it would be so much easier for me to be happy if I were in a different place, if my relationship were better, if my mate were easier to live with, if my physical body didn't hurt, or if my physical body looked different. It would be so much easier for me to feel happy if my work were more fulfilling, if I had more money. If the conditions of my life were better, I would feel better, and then it would be easier for me to think more positive thoughts. Seeing pleasing things does feel good, and it is easier to feel good when a pleasing thing is there, obvious for you to see. But you cannot ask others around you to orchestrate only pleasing things for you to see. Expecting others to provide the perfect environment for you is not a good idea for many reasons. First, it's not their responsibility to feather your nest. Second, it's not possible for them to control conditions you've created around you. And third, and most important of all, you would be giving up your power to create your own experience. Make a decision to look for the best feeling aspects of whatever you must give your attention to, and otherwise look only for good feeling things to give your attention to, and your life will become one of increasingly good feeling aspects.